One of the other important things to remember is we can use the soils and the young sediments that overlie the rocks as a proxy for the rocks themselves in Melbourne. And the soils will have different characteristics, different colors, different compositions, depending on what the rocks are that are the source of those soils. And if they're forming in place, they may look very different versus ones that have been brought into the landscape, for example. If you look at the soils here, you can see they're actually quite light in color compared to the same types of soils you get that form on top of basaltic rocks. So it's quite clearly here that we're still in the Silurian sequence, and that the sediments that are coming down through here and the soils that are forming from them are quite different from what we might expect when we get into the basaltic areas. So what we've got here is the Silurian Melbourne Formation bedrock forming the base of the channel. We've got evidence of gravel channels being deposited on top of that. You can see that, the small pebbles that have an imbrication pointing downstream. We have clear, distinct packages of sediments that have been deposited on top of that, floodplain deposits. And then subsequent to deposition, we see evidence for a pedogenic carbonate forming, this sort of light-colored, whitish-colored material that you can see there. And so these soils are weathering in place. Their chemistry is slowly evolving with time. The longer they sit there, the more they change. And they're telling us basically about the contact between 440 million year old rocks and quaternary sediments.